let's go now to the other big heavyweight matchup. Really, the biggest heavyweight matchup. We've been waiting to see this: Georgia, Bama. Clint, I'm gonna go with you again. Biggest takeaway from that game. Did we learn anything about Georgia? You already broke down Bryce Young. Like, what was your biggest takeaway from finally seeing the White Walkers and the Roman Army get at it?
Well, I mean, I think Georgia didn't do one thing. I didn't accomplish one thing that I expected them to accomplish from Jump Street. I mean, I expect them to just play sound defense, and they get a 10-0 lead, and then they give up a busted coverage and for a touchdown. And if you listen to Kirby Smart going into halftime, I think there was multiple busted coverages in the first half. That's just not a Kirby Smart coach football team. Doesn't bust coverages and give up cheap long touchdowns, particularly in that situation when you have the momentum. The big takeaway for me was I expected them, after watching Alabama last week versus Auburn, I expected Georgia's front to absolutely give Alabama fits when they get back there and gun. They put those tackles on an island. I expected Georgia to just absolutely create all kind of chaos around Bryce Young, and they didn't do it. And so it's to me, it's about what Georgia didn't do that I expected them to do, not just throughout the game. I expected them to do it dominantly, consistently, and they were not able to do it. And I think that says more about Georgia than it does Alabama. Alabama's been inconsistent all year long. I think this is something that could plague Georgia getting into the playoffs when you got to beat two really good football teams back to back.
So, Bryce, does this mean that Bama is still the standard on the field, off the field, physicality, mentality, execution, coaching? Like, and Clint made a great point. They have wobbled a lot this year, young all over the place. They had 7 guys go in the first round. All 7 are probably one of the best players for a team in the NFL, yet here they come back again. Are they still the standard, or are we overstating that and we just, like Clint said, Georgia didn't come right today?
No. I think they are. I think they are. And the only other, really adjective that I'd add to that is just consistency. I mean, I think that's how you get a certain bar of what that standard is to do this year in and year out. And I think that we hear it a lot from Bill Belichick, who, is again, arguably one of the best coaches in the NFL to ever come, talks about it year in and year out, is you really don't know who your team is until week 12, week 13 of the season anyways. And I think Alabama just kind of embodies that as well. That, look, and again, kind of going back to the interview that Nick Saban had, he got upset about it from the expectation of fans that they're supposed to blow everybody out. But, the idea is that they do keep winning the games that they need to win. And whether that's kind of a barn burner to the last second, like we watched last week against, Auburn, or it's one of these games where you really don't have any expectation of them being in a game because Georgia is that good. Then they come out and, put up 41, on a defense that hasn't given up more than 17 points all year. So this is that standard of consistency, of physicality, the mentality, scheme, plug and play a coach, plug and play a player. They just continue to keep coming year in and year out to make it to, the round of 4, whatever you want to call it, playoffs, when they need to, and they get hot when they need to.